Sanskrit is a pan-Indian because it is a stateless language basically. So some of the languages which I mentioned, they are not being represented by any state because the major people who are there, they are spread across the pan-Indian. So I say pan-Indian. Santali is in Jharkhand, which comes from the Munda family, and as I told you, it is written in Devanagari and the Alchiki. Sindhi, it's also basically stateless. It has been also pan-Indian, or maybe in certain places only it is in spoken. Tamil, Telugu and Urdu. Urdu, you are fully aware, it shares the Perso-Arabic family, and we share the things with the neighboring countries, which also have the similar scripts and languages. Now, why I given this background, how much that effect or the impact of this complexity is going to be happening on research, and what are the tools and technologies which we require. After my presentation, we would like to, I wanted to give a live demonstration, but unfortunately my laptop is not Vista compatible, and then certain things are there, so we'll run a short video for you, so you get the live functioning of the what is called the search engine. A certain number of problems are encountered when a search engine for non-Latin language is emissions, starting off with the major grassroots problem of ease of inputting the data. Other issues arise. These are elaborated and developed in the following slides. So when we say what are the issues are very complex in terms of the inputting itself, starting from the inputting, and then as I said, there is no one-to-one correlationship, one-to-one, one-to-many, many-to-one. Even in case of inputting, when I say inputting, is that you input through a standardized keyboard. The standardized keyboard is InScript, that is the Indian standard script keyboard is there. It is working on something called the phonetics. So the way I speak, I write. Okay. There was earlier, in early days, it was a typewriter keyboard. So it was the era of mechanical typewriters were there. And then in that case, in typewriters, since you cannot combine or you cannot reorder, you have to type the way you see. So the way you see, the way you type is a typewriter. So if I want to write something kitab, I don't know whether you will be able to visualize that. But the first part has to be reordered actually. And then, but in typewriter you have to type graphically rather than the phonetically. So these are some of the issues which is coming into the Indian languages. Unlike English, Indian languages have over 50 plus characters, maybe more than that. 50 plus, why? Because Tamil characters are there, as well as and there are more basically, not 50 plus. It's something close to 80 minimum characters which have to be accommodated on a keyboard. So with the shift and unshift, we have got a problem. And Vedic, if you take, we are proposed to the Unicode, and hopefully it will get approved. And in Unicode, we have found something close to around 48 to 50 accent markers which are there, and they are supposed to go on the keyboard, and the keyboard becomes 4-layer keyboard. So that's also an issue. With more and more characters being added to the Unicode code pages for Indian script, the issue of designing keyboards is a major issue. So what is happening is that now languages are getting added into the Unicode, and we need to build the keyboard drivers and a keyboard standardized one rather than just a non-standard keyboard. And that is also a very complex part which is being addressed. Apart from accommodating all the characters of a given script, the keyboard should also be capable of handling all the complex ligatural shapes of the Indian language as shown in the sample below. So this is the keyboard. If you can see, it's okay. It's okay. So this is the keyboard, and you got unshift and shift operations are there. So and you type it basically. And this InScript keyboard, what is being designed, since as I said to you, it's a phonetics. So if you are aware of the phonetics of Indian languages, you can enter Indian languages within 5 minutes. You can learn the keyboard and start entering. The beauty of this keyboard is that if you don't know another script basically or another language and still you want to input, you can still input because the mapping of the characters of the other language is done on the same key. And because they follow a phonetic pattern. So it's very easy to move from one language to another. If you don't know the language also or the script also, you should be able to type it out. So that's a great advantage of the InScript keyboard which we are doing. Now still people in India feel that it's a very complex. It's very complex because if I have to type some in English, I have to type good. So it is just 4 characters I type and it finishes off. But if in Indian language, if I want to write a word, maybe kitab, then I have to enter something close to around 6 to 7 strokes I have to do. And then again, most of the people, as I said, 36.5%, they cannot read and write. Then how the phonetics will also be cleared, and then how they will be able to type it out. So then considering this complexity, we said that is it possible that people input the way they want, in the sense phonetically. So this is especially meant for the people who are into the living in the urban, because there is a tendency that this they go to the English way and these people still go the Indian way. We need to bridge the gap. And there is a in the new community, in the sense the students community, SMS is growing very heavily. And then in that case they type it out very fast. I don't know how they type it, but they type it very fast. And we take that English typing. They do a very English typing, and then there are T9 is there, and then you have got something like a predictive, non-predictive. We have come up with something called that. So you enter in English, and it gets into Indian languages. So that's very simple. And there are Chaudhary, the spelling in India, Chaudhary is a surname. It is written in 54 different ways. 54, 54. But our engine, whatever way you type in English, it will come properly in Indian language. So this what is called, it depends upon the heuristic algorithms, as well as it learns the user feedback and push on top of the list, and it's rule based plus a dictionary backups are there. It is called GSTrans. This is actually available. You can log on to go to the transliteration.cdac.in and you can try for yourself. It's very easy. Especially, sir, you can try Gujarati if you want, and you might kindly So I explained to you that one script, many languages. Then the problem rises over there that if I don't know the what is called the language which I am searching, then it is difficult, because in the code page when the data is there, the data is in the what is called the Devanagari only. But when I search, for example, I am searching and I am expecting what is called the search results coming out in my language, which is slightly difficult, because if you take Marathi as an example, IE, which you can, I probably you will be able to, this is the Hindi, Marathi input. Yeah, IE, whatever is there, the phonetic is also been given side by side. So in Marathi, it means mother. Okay, and if I want to search some essay on mother, for example, probably that since it is in the Devanagari code page, it will not bring the results to me. It will bring weird results, because it will share in Hindi. There is I might be something different. IA, something that will happen or come if there is a after that. So these are some of the issues. It will not bring the exact results to you. Second is one language many scripts. This also is a problem. Sindhi, as I said, Sindhi, Devanagari, Gujarati, Roman, Arabic, Hopefully is also written in Devanagari, Roman, Kannada, Malayalam. The search engine was search for the similar equivalents in all the scripts for the word. So what if it is in one language is there and many scripts are there, and if your data, if you are searching then that case, then it should bring those pages also to you. Then otherwise your search is not complete. So what is the solution? The solution needs to be that you require a language identifier built in within the tools or the plugin. When I say we have developed something called as a search plugin. So it's not like we are not into development of a search engine per se, because then it's all there are already the masters in that. Google and Yahoo are the masters, people who are working into search engines, and Microsoft also coming. So we are focusing on something called the plugins to the search engine, existing plugins to the search engine. So they either sit on top of the what is called the search engine, or it can also happen at a certain level. They can fit it into the architectures of the search engines, and we need to tie it to the search engine further. So language identifier built in for disambiguation of language using the same script. Online transliteration for languages using multiple scripts. So what exactly it means is that there is a language identifier. For example, we learn the pattern basically. So what input is given. If it is a single word, slightly it will be difficult basically in that regard. But if for the multiple words, then we will be able to disambiguate very easily. So at least the string length should be around 3 to 4 words should be there. So we will be able to disambiguate whether the given search is to be done in Marathi or whether it is to be done in the Hindi. Okay. And then there is something called the online transliteration. So you transliterate the script, means the script changes basically online. It does. We can show it to you also. So online transliteration comes up, and the person is able to actually see the results. This is a major, the terminology which I used might be slightly not sounding good over here, hack fonts, but we really don't want to mention what is called the hack font. It is the legacy data. So earlier there were 8-bit systems, and then there were